he said, then afterwards he told her, he said, I could not tolerate. He was minimizing Krishna.
Yeah.
He was saying that there's 5 that you have to worship. What is it called?
Panchabuddhas. Panchamahabuddhas.
Yeah.
Actually, Ganesh, Durga.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a different concept. Actually.
But they're saying they're all equal.
Yeah.
So,
Son.
Prabhupada couldn't tolerate it. He was so in ecstasy, you could say. So I saw him get angry many times. Sometimes he got angry at me. And once I got angry in his presence. I got full-on anger in his presence.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was, he was in Henry Street in New York, Brooklyn. And there was a yogi had come from India. He was staying at the temple for some time. And they were questioning, Bhavananda was the temple. He wrote to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was concerned. Why is he staying? He said, if he stays, he has to come every morning Mangalarti and chant with us. And so, he was afraid he was going to poison somehow. So, maybe 2 weeks before Prabhupada came, he moved out. Somehow he got an apartment. So I was there, I remember, on the 2nd floor, and I saw him coming. I looked out the window, I saw he was coming with some lady. He was there. And it was kind of a fat lady. She wore saffron. They were calling her sannyasini,
Oh, really?
So I saw, I didn't think much of it. I thought, well, yeah, he's going to see Prabhupada. And Prabhupada's room was downstairs. I was in the 2nd. So I just happened to be going down past Prabhupada's room, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, on some service. And this yogi guy was being carried out of Prabhupada's room, horizontally, by about six or 8 brahmacharis.
Really?
So I could see he was afraid. There was like fear in his eyes. And I thought, what's going on? So I ran into Prabhupada's room, and this lady was there, like in the corner, and there was one kind of shy brahmachari. And she was hysterical, and she was saying, don't you touch me, don't you touch me. So I looked at Prabhupada. He was sitting behind his desk. He didn't say anything. Then he just gestured with his eyes. Get her out. So I went over to her and I got angry. I said, "Shut up!" In a strong voice. And I didn't get violent. I just took her, and then I kind of overpowered her with my vibration, and then I just kind of moved her out. And then somebody else was there, and she went out on the street. Then Prabhupada said, "Call all the leaders in the GBC, the Tamil Brethren. Why have you let this man come here?" And the next morning in Bhagavatam class, Prabhupada mentioned the incident. He said, my disciple became angry, it was me. But that was okay, because his spiritual master was being insulted. So I even got angry, what to speak of Prabhupada. He would get angry quite often when someone would do something nonsense. But it was the kind of anger, was just like a razor or a laser that they used to cut something out. And then 1 second later, he'd be smiling. It wasn't like he had a grudge or resentment or anything, but just the anger would just flash and then immediately be gone. I remember once, it was almost like a jealous anger, and sometimes, I'll tell you this story. I was giving massage, I told you, when Prabhupada came to London, and I liked it so much, I wanted to continue the service when Prabhupada left, so I was kind of angling, I was asking Prabhupada, when you go to America, because he was due to go to Boston, can I come with you and, continue this service of... And Prabhupada said, let us see what Krishna wants. And so like that it was coming. And then Prabhupada's servant, Purushottam, he came and said, stop bothering Prabhupada about going to America, because Upendra, he's going to be doing that service when Prabhupada comes to Boston. So we don't need you so don't disturb Prabhupada anymore about that. So the next day I was driving Prabhupada from his house to the temple. I was like the masseur and chauffeur. This is a nice service. That's why I wanted to keep doing it.
Where this was? Which country this was in?
In England.
In England. Okay.
Yeah, in London. So when I got in the car, then the two of us were there alone, and I said, Srila Prabhupada Purushottam said that Upendra is going to be giving you massage when you go to America. And Prabhupada knew I wanted to do it.
Because you asked.
So when I said that, he was just completely silent. Very grave, not like you, laughing and shaking. He is just, didn't crack a smile, nothing. Just completely like a stone. So then, because I spoke very clearly, it was only two of us, so it was kind of a little, from my side, I felt a little tense that, and then I thought to myself, well, it must be true, and Prabhupada's not saying anything. So then I didn't want to like twist his arm or something and make, oh Prabhupada, please, you promised me or something. I just wanted to,
Yeah.
try to surrender like Krishna's advising here. So, but then the tension was there, at least from my side I felt a little tension that, I had spoken very clearly, he was completely quiet. So I wanted to change the subject, so I asked him about Upendra. I said, Upendra is a nice devotee, Srila Prabhupada?
Oh, question.
I just... Stop. You're laughing too much. I can't tell the story if you're going to be privileged.
Okay.
No, I don't think you can be sober. You can't, right?
No.
It's very difficult.
I don't know.
It means stop smiling and try to live. It's a serious subject, man.
Okay.
You can't do it. He's a child, this guy. That's good quality, too. So anyway, because when I tell the final thing, you're not going to understand it. That's what, my point.
Yeah.
You won't understand it because if you're frivolous, you won't understand. So when I said it to Prabhupada, he turned to me and very feelingly, he said, not as nice as you. Why he said like that? Because he could read my mind. He knew what was the transformation was going, that I wanted to go, but that I was surrendering. And he was appreciating that in a very intimate way. And he was exchanging with me. So that was how Prabhupada would deal with us. And when he said like that, it went right into my heart, and I felt, wow, this person really loves me. And I'm so undeserving, and it just made me feel like, I'll do anything for you, Prabhupada. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it, because you're so wonderful. You deal with me so lovingly. So even he was not taking me, still he increased my affection for him by his dealings with me. Now, is that all right?
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
It didn't...
Yes, no.
See, so it's serious at the same time.
That's how it should be, actually.
Yeah, he was very serious. Dhira, that's the word we're bringing to bear. Dhira, we have to be very sober. Death may come at any moment. We saw those people on the plane, right? They landed in the Hudson River. They didn't know. 1 minute they're going on a plane. Next thing they're standing on the wing in the freezing cold, or the water coming up on their legs. At any moment there can be upheaval. So we have to always be serious. Otherwise, Prabhupada told how once he was in Mexico, there was an earthquake. He said especially the ladies were screaming. Because the ladies are generally not so sober. They're laughing and joking, and then the earthquake comes, ah! They were screaming, right? Because it's not a joke either. It's a real thing. If you're on an elevator and the elevator breaks and you're going down 110 stories, then will you be smiling then, or you'll be chanting seriously?
Yeah, that's chanting and
so that's the point. We have to be always sober. And I mean, I'm learning also, but Prabhupada was so grave, at the same time, so jolly. So that combination we have to try for. To be hard as a thunderbolt and soft as a rose. When I came into the room with that lady hysterical, he wasn't smiling. He was dead sober. And sometimes he was very jolly, very, even telling jokes and so. So it's a serious business. We're in this material world where we owe God one death. We have to die. And it's not going to be pleasant, dying. I was with Prabhupada when he was leaving his body. It wasn't like fun and games. And this is waiting for us, each one of us. We'll be on the deathbed. And there'll be pain and uncomfortable, and we can't breathe, we're choking with mucus and so on. So, any questions? Comments?